Alrighty. I hope y'all enjoyed that intro. I do the new fancier intros live because it's easier for the video not to be taken down. It's easier. YouTube leaves it up for like maybe a couple hours and then the copyright strikes come in. So it's easy to do it live. Word to the wise there. But let's go ahead and cut to the chase here. Hold on. Let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and put up the picture that I had, which is this right here. So I was listening in. My dad was watching those military history shows, and it comes up. For those that don't know, this is Arye or Ari Newsbacher, and now afterwards, Lynette Newsbacher. For those that know, this was a fairly prominent military historian. Did a lot of the History Channel shows, a lot of the military History Channel stuff, and so transitioned. This is someone that studies war all the time, and yet apparently they're like, oh, they dealt with issues of dysmorphia, this and that, and then suddenly they became trannies. This is a perfect example of being a product of your time. People are going to wonder, why did so-and-so do this? Why did so-and-so do that? And to a point, as much as they don't want to admit it and they want to say it was an individual choice, la-di-da, the fact is that they wanted to do it to fit in. All right? That's just the fact of the matter. I don't give a shit what y'all say. The fact is that Mr. Newsbacher wanted to transition so that they could fit into the rest, so that they could fit in to the rest of the world. That's my opinion anyway. You have, for example, I was listening to a bit of that Hippy Dippy stream with Dylan Burns and, Vosh, and it also had good old Kevin Castley, who I'll talk about briefly, but I'll try to move on from it. And it's amazing to me how he has like a checklist in his mind of stuff that he'll say so that he could try to get people on his side. To say that he's a feminist, that he's a neo-lib war hawk sort of thing, all this sorts of thing. These are the folks that will claim to be progressive. And then we'll say, of course, oh, well, it's awful what occurred with that and, everything. I don't get it. To be quite honest with you, I don't get it. It shows, it will become dated, I think. And that people will eventually be like, yeah, transgenderism is kind of, cringe, this and that. But, yeah, if that's fitting in, no thanks. Exactly. Oh, no, I agree. But I think this is how people fit in, right? In my opinion. It's the same thing when you see Macaulay Culkin. I'm looking at this here. I'm jaw dropped at this. Macaulay Culkin has a child with Brenda Song. And I'm like, I try not to talk about this type of stuff, but I'm just shocked by that. I'm like, what? How is that, And the thing is, of course, Macaulay Culkin, where does he go? He goes to Joe Rogan so that he can fit in. Because Joe Rogan is seen as just edgy enough. There are folks who are misunderstood, because people are irony poisoned and they are internet poisoned. And they are so out of the loop in terms of what's actually accepted and what's not, that they see TRS, the rightstuff.biz, people like, Mike Pinovich, a.k.a. Mike Enoch, and Eric Stryker and those lot, they see them as mainstream. And I say to myself, what? You have to be kidding me. No, they're not mainstream. But I want to try to make content that, yes, does fit within the time, but you can listen to these and say, you know, that daggum Uncle Thomas, he at least tried to make something that lasted, that actually reflected the time, right? I'd like to think what I make is timeless to a point, but I know probably ultimately I'm still a product of the time as well. You think about being a product of the time, you know, you think of folks that are, boomers and whatnot, and they get their fancy cars and whatnot because it's accepted by society, or it's accepted by a large group of folks, right? If they want to drop $1 million buying some, 1965 Corvette, or even like a Corvair, whichever rare car you want to choose that boomers love to talk about, or buy some motorcycle, whatever, it's accepted because it's like, you deserve it, because they come from that era of consumerism, right? They don't, like I say, and they see it more as, I should be able to buy it, who cares, right? It's interesting to think about the history of consumerism, because I remember seeing old folks come in when I was at JCPenney and say, I've traded with y'all for 30 years or something like that, right? And they saw it as a legitimate business relationship. Whereas people today, if you come into JCPenney, it's just like, it's basically just random, like, people are lazy or any numerous reason. I did get a degree in marketing, but I probably will never use it in any serious form. But anywho, it's seen as a transaction. Whereas older generations, Depression era, the so-called greatest generation, they see it as a relationship, that when you came there, you knew the guy, you knew their family, you knew everything about them. That still exists, but it is becoming less and less of a phenomenon, where it's like, you don't know, that same person who you work with, right? It's kind of, or you worked somewhere for 30 or 40 years. That does not exist. You go through jobs like underwear. Hell, even more than underwear. You go through jobs like, I don't know, depending. No, I'm not going to go there. I was going to horny post, but no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say condoms, but that's not. But that's just going back to the title of this video. That's being a product of the time. Is switching jobs frequently and moving frequently. Like I said, that more, in my opinion, is an evolution of like the Great Migration from the South to the North for Black folks, for melanated people, whichever term. I'm not going to use African American or POC, even though I just said them, but And of course, ironically, of course, still most Black folks in the United States still live in the South, generally speaking. Yeah, there are plenty in Chicago, Detroit, New York, wherever, but yeah. What's going on, Kaz? How are you? But yeah, I mean, we're all products of the time to different degrees, right? You may think that you're above it. You think that you're somehow of a different time. You have these folks who say, I should have been born in a different time. Maybe. But the thing is, though, is that you're still a product of this era, right? And sometimes people just, they live in the past and they think somehow that they belong to that era. It's like, no, you're still a product of this time, regardless, Motherfuckers be like, POC, just say nigga, my nigga. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. We are all products of that, and you think of people, like I say, I'll bring it back to the beginning here, but people like, Ari Newsbacher, aka now Lynette Newsbacher, and still doing shows on Military History Channel and all this sort of thing. And you hear that, and you hear that HRT voice, the real high voice that you can only get from popping thousands of pills, and you see, like I say, I've already given my very boring, lukewarm, vanilla take on the whole Hassan Piker making money thing, but the hippy dippy debate thing, they spent 90 minutes talking about that shit. That's pitiful. Going 90 minutes talking about Hassan Piker. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Why would you, like I say? And people are like, oh, I'll just say this, just in case you want my your opinion about it, is it basically, I think Hassan Piker buying that $2.1 million house in West Hollywood is him being middle class. That's the simple fact of the matter. He is middle class. You have the lower class folks in Los Angeles as a whole who are literally living on the street, living in tents. You have folks like Hassan Piker who bought anywhere else, I guess, could be considered a mansion. But in Hollywood, that's just that's maybe upper middle class sort of lifestyle, in my opinion. It's not, like I say, it's above like maybe, the houses in like, I don't know, wherever you want to choose in Orange County. Well, anyway, but it's middle class. And you think to yourself, that's also a product of the time, right? That because they can be good for the message, that we're going to eschew some things, right? When ContraPoints puts out maybe 10 videos a year, if that, and occasionally does a live stream when they need to buy something, people just brush it off because their content is so good. They just, they're willing to describe things so well, and they spend all this money on, editors and everything else, I imagine. But because they're good for movement, they're good for the movement, bro. We're going to eschew those things and say, well, they do that, yeah. There are no fruitful debates. People just show up to yell at each other with their audiences, and then they leave and explain how they won. That is true. That is true. That's why I've stopped debating. The few debates I've had, like I say, I mean, I think I can count on one hand the amount of actual online debates I've had with, I can't think of it, the goofy guy, Kevin Castley, and like I say, I think there was a Vosh moment. There were a couple of, no, there's only one time I ever actually talked to Vosh. I actually debated for a brief time Xander Hall. But it was clipped out. It was like a year or two ago. Anywho, my point is this, debates are pointless, but that's still a product of the time, right? Where you think, debate me, bro, or fight me in a celebrity boxing match, right? Because it's simply a way to make money. You don't actually care about these things. You just want to make money. I mean, that's my take on it anyway. It's interesting, you look back on things and you say, the funny imperialist internet man. Exactly. Oh, yeah. And like I say, it's like watching a movie from the 70s. And you say to yourself, oh my goodness. Look how crazy they were. Or people that, were alive and kicking during the 70s and that were really doing stuff back then. Who, we're talking about, oh yeah, we snorted so much cocaine on this set and everything else like that, And that was the time, right? Now, some people still snort coke. Let's not try to be like, oh, well, it was only for them, but it was, obviously that's the meme. That's the way that we are conditioned, through movies and everything else, right? Where it's just like, oh yeah, 1970s, 1980s, cocaine. It's like, yeah, people were shooting up. People, like I say, in the 1980s, you think of crack as well, But, like I say, the times they change, and what's acceptable in terms of dialogue, whether it's about art, whether it's about science, whether it's about music, whether it's about politics, there is a very limited scope, relatively speaking. Yeah, there are anarchists. Yeah, there are, Nazis. There are fascists. There are folks who accelerationists. There are other folks, yeah. Medicare coming back was like a eulogy for people stuck in 2019. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, I do, yeah. People still do drugs these days, but these people understand it's pretty shameful. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They've seen plenty of movies. Yeah. Just got off Medicare stream, lol. Oh, yeah. I smoke motherfucker. Yeah. Though menthols were banned, just smoked one. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Medicare, like I said, speaking of that, speaking product of their time, Medicare was a product of the early internet, right? Whether he would, when he was like internet, what was he called? Yeah, where he had the David Hasselhoff thing. Anyway, but I have no idea. But I was gonna say is that he's a product of the time. Yeah, internet aristocrat. That's it. Internet aristocrat. Excuse me. It came to me. And he was a product of that time, right? And he would make fun of retards, and he, like I said, I still remember, and you could probably still find it on BitChute, I imagine. But of all the, when he was talking about that guy with the glasses and talking about Spoonie, talking about he didn't talk about the cinema snob, even though he could have, but I guess he wasn't worth it. Talked about Linkara and all these videos, and they were fairly funny, and they were fairly insightful, this and that. Or when he talked about Randy Stair, or whichever the case may be, yeah. Jim 81 Jim, yeah. But he's, like I said, and people cope. Oh, they cope so hard. The old internet is dead, bro. They cry about it. Look, edgy stuff is going to exist. Edgy stuff is always going to exist, all right? It'll just go to a different medium. Instead of, samizdat, if you will, for all the stuff that was, all the shit talking about the Soviet Union, it evolved into Mad Magazine or whichever, right? Crowd and Tea was good. It was all downhill after that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like I say, people can go ahead and speak about the internet as if it's this sacred thing. Oh, they took away the 4chan or something. It's cope. It's like living the real world, man. Like I say, I've had a chance to reflect on things a little bit and stay off the internet for a bit. I've been able to kind of stay away from a lot of the political stuff. And not, imagine calling him Daddy Jim, then half his fans become skull masks or furries. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Hypocrites, all of them. Hypocrites all. Hypocrites all. You know what I would say is we are, is that you have to be able to move on and accept that things change. And just accept that you're an old man. It's like I'm back there with a guy who's about my age. Maybe he's a little bit older. And he's playing like the old Buster Rhymes stuff, like break your fucking neck, bitches. Back from like the early 2000s, I think late 90s. Come here, mom. But I can't do it. Yeah, but yeah. If you don't use Discord, you avoid 99% of drama that ages you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It has been a while since I've been on Discord. I used to just steal Discord memes. That famous Hermann Goering thing, that one that's got like 15,000 views, I think, on my channel. I got that from Discord. So I just found funny Discord memes that I would put up on my Twitter or on YouTube. So if I found like a funny video and I thought I could get away with it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to put that up. And there were a couple times, there was that one La Critura one. And that's what got taken me down. But yeah, still banned from Discord. That's good. That's a good thing. That is better for your health. Yeah. As per my lack of content, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Like I say, it's okay not to produce anything on YouTube anymore. I do it because, I need something to do. And I think that I would like to think I'm somewhat of a breath of fresh air. Maybe I'm getting too full of myself. Maybe I'm getting a big head, but I like to say I'm somewhat of a breath of fresh air for somebody who's older. I'm approaching 40. And I'm stumbling my way to 40, and I'm okay with that. You have to admit it. I'm going bald, la, 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 la. I'm not going to explain everything, but yeah. But you accept it, and you say, okay. Like I say, today wasn't much going on at work. What is my Twitter? I hardly use Twitter. I've gone back and forth on it. I will give you my Twitter, though. I will do it. But I don't go on there that often. And most of the time I just retweet stuff. But I'll give it to you, sure. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put it in just for the hell of it. Why not? What's going on, Benedict? It's been a while, Megan. Yeah, like I say, I'm getting too schizo. I will come up with a schedule. I did have a schedule for a little bit, and then COVID hit, and then I was just like, let's just go ahead and post stuff. Let's go ahead and just be schizo about it. I was producing like 3 or 4 videos a day. And I decided, like I say. So now we're going to figure out a schedule. I will figure out a schedule. Now I have a fairly straightforward schedule for work, apart from being on call. But other than that, so eventually I will get a schedule going for actual streams. So, but yeah, if y'all want to follow anybody on, is there anything besides YouTube you use actually? I have all the videos that I post on YouTube go to Odysee. Like I say, I check Twitter maybe once a month. I try not to get into it that much. I think that there's still some funny stuff. I think overall is kind of it. I still feel like to a point, it's still fairly stale, and the material on there is just kind of meh. That's my opinion about Twitter. But yeah, I don't really post much else, to be honest with you. I don't. My stuff on Twitter was basically just rip-offs of other people's stuff, and just posting like memes and shit like that. That's all my stuff was, Yes, it is. This is I was talking about this at the beginning of the stream, but I'll go ahead and say it here. This is Arye Newsbacher, and now it is Lynette Newsbacher. For those who actually maybe have lives and have gone outside, Dr. Arye Newsbacher, however we even pronounce it, was a teacher, I believe, at Sandhurst. I may be mistaken, but they were at the Sandhurst Military College, and they were on like military history channel stuff, and the History Channel stuff. What's going on, man, Baron? How are you? How are you doing? But basically, this Aryeh Newsbacher had a family and suddenly decided, I guess they felt some sort of dysmorphia, and they decided to transition to a woman. Twitter.com logo dataless. Oh boy. Check this tweet. Oh boy. Logo dataless. Let's go ahead and see what logo dataless has. I'll go ahead and I'll humor you. I will humor you. Why not? I'll humor you. Hold on. Let me have to do some muterino here. I think it's already muted. It should be. Let's take a look at this here. I don't feel like sharing the screen, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. I love that neoliberal hawks have personas now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's be honest. If you're anti-war, you're not only pro-rape, but also pro-mass rape. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say Logo Daedalus is wrong, but Logo Daedalus is one of these big brain dudes who talks about how many books he reads. And I'm just like, okay. This guy gets, like I say, I mean, Kevin Castley, I feel sorry for him. Because he thinks, I really do think that he thinks that they're laughing with him, not at him. And I think that they're continuing to laugh at him as much as he tries to put on. I mean, talk about somebody who is a product of their time. He'll talk about being a feminist and supporting trans rights and being an atheist. I'm like, what is this? Is it 2014? You're kind of behind the times to finally come out as an anti-theist and everything. I mean, to me, that's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, he's a product of, I guess, the 1950s, maybe, or 1960s. I don't know, but yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. I've given so much. I can't even say. I think that, and if you push him on it, I really do believe if you push him on these things, he will break like a pretzel. You know, I pushed him on how he felt about, yeah, is a laughing stock on Twitter. Oh yeah. We have your live, yeah, with their decisions, yeah. Yo live with their decisions. Yeah, that's true. He's not building an audience. No, he's not. Like I say, I one of the main reasons why I don't watch him is because he will repeat the same bullshit basically with you know, Spooky Nookies, aka Reese. And he, you know, records his shit at like 2:00 in the morning. Like, nobody is watching your stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, you've got 800 followers. It's like, okay, I'll give you that. Well done. And well done, I guess, for you trying to become more legit by being accepted on Dylan Burns' Hippy Dippy stream. But it's like, okay. The thing is that people still see you as a laughingstock. They see you as a joke. They don't see you as a real person. You're trying, like I said, you're desperately not, you're not even being like 2021. You're being 2014. You know, in terms of, you know, your stances, right? Where it's like, I'm anti-theist. You know, I'm an atheist, bro. It's like, in general, atheist YouTube died around maybe 2015, 2016. Generally speaking. Like I say, you could go and be more specific, but. And then, of course, claiming to be a feminist, this and that. It's like, once again, are you living in 2015? I don't know what you're trying to do. So I don't know. I mean, I live in the past myself sometimes with plenty of aspects of life, but it's like I pay enough attention to realize it's like you could have gotten away with this if you had actually posted stuff back in 2014 and you would have fooled enough people. But now, too many people, you know, there have been too many grifters out there, and it's like your grift is just kind of, it's stale. I mean, it's dead in the, you know, it's dead in the water, literally. But I try not to talk about him that much. I know people are going to be like, Uncle Thomas, why do you give him time of day? I try not to. He's just so ridiculous. And like I say, he's hypocritical. He's one of these guys who thinks that, yeah, maybe you should become a market socialist or Titoist. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe I should talk about market socialism. Yeah, become like Vosh. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I cannot sell my soul like that. No, I could never go down the tranny road. I know that Vosh has done like anti-tranny stuff, but no, I could never go down that road. I can't imagine selling out or what he has to do behind the scenes. Or he's getting like people from, I think, the Washington Post and talking like IWW and all that. I can't imagine how much he's already had to give. I can't do that. It's effectively the same thing. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah. How long since the beginning? About 33 minutes. Kind of, ooh boy, 33rd degree of Freemasonry, but no. Yeah, about 33 minutes. I'll try to wrap it up fairly soon. Try to do it within the next 10 minutes, but yeah. Oh, I was talking about Kevin. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That too, though. Is Vosh on his redemption arc, though? I mean, he's still cringe as it is, but is Nazbol Vosh a thing of the future? I don't think he's I don't think he can redeem himself. I think he could. He's given some stuff recently where he said that, like Afghanis are low IQ and stuff like that. He said stuff like that and said that they would be reactionary, this and that. But I think he's too far gone. He is too far gone. It's like in some people's eyes, he may have a redemption arc, but I think that he does still want to make money. He wants to be like Hassan. He has said this openly, where he's like, yeah, there's a war on spirit also. Oh, absolutely. That's true too. There is a war on the spirit. Yeah, there's winning hearts and minds and winning the spirit. And many people have given in to, the TikTok easy wham bam, thank you, ma'am sort of stuff. It's easier that way, right? They have given in to the meme where it's just like, yeah, I can become a content creator and make a lot of money. And very few people can actually do that. It's the same thing with OnlyFans. Like, now that they've banned, this is the most ridiculous thing. How can you have OnlyFans and then ban adult content? I don't get that. How do you do that? It's just like, it's like saying porn. It's like, that's like Pornhub saying we no longer allow. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. Y'all can fill in that. You can fill in that Mad Lib with whatever you want to, but my mouth is suddenly very dry. So I think I will try to wrap this up with just a yes. There is a war on the spirit, and I think there will be another revival of Christianity. I think as much as people want to try to claim to be atheistic, this and that, and say that the West rose up in spite of Christianity, this and that, I do think that Christianity will have a revival. Unfortunately, it will be more of an evangelical revival, which is very cringe and very very. I'm trying to think of the word now, but yeah, halal. Basically, it's haram. It is absolutely haram. And revisionist and cringe, but yeah. Another one, huh? Let's go ahead and see. Message retracted. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry about that. I was gonna say, I guess I'll try to wrap it up with this, is that try to be as timeless as you can, by speaking about things that are universal, that don't change, right? In general, people can still listen to Tupac, for example. Feel as you want to, yeah. I'm going to be real with you. I advocate for Sharia law. Inshallah. I would convert to Islam. I would. If Islam did take over, I would be like, yeah, inshallah. But yeah, I agree because of the said revival will come more as a crutch than a genuine spiritual awakening. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It will be used for other means. It will be. Yeah. White Sharia. Yeah. Do. I said, oh man, I hear that bop in my head. Man, that's a good one. That's a good bop. I am more of a no, you revert to Islam, everyone is born Muslim. Oh, I see. I revert to Islam. Oh, okay. Well, that works too. Inshallah. I would say officially no. I was baptized. But I haven't been to a church in a long time. I would say this is the extent of my religious views ultimately. When I see dead animals or I see something that, kind of I'm not sure about, I will make the sign of the cross. So it's more of a Catholic thing in that way. So that's the extent of my religion ultimately. I'll be honest with you. My parents aren't religious. There was a time when we did go to church. Briefly, we went to a Baptist church because we live in the South. But yeah, you remind me of other Carl. Yeah, like I say, I think we have a lot of overlapping opinions. We're around the same age, and there are distinct differences between us, obviously. But I think that there are some things that there's enough similarity between us where we can, at least get along. It's been a while since we've had a stream of me and him. I remember I invited him to a stream a while back, but yeah. Islam is a natural state of all things. Therefore, all people have been Muslims since birth, and those who are not raised in Muslim society, you must revert to the natural way. The audience is overlapping as well. Oh yeah, that is true. I know very little about Islam, and between the Sunni Shia split and everything else, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna keep myself. Yeah, time to organize a queue. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh Lord, have mercy. But yeah, let's see here. Kevin Castley nearly killed me. Thank you again to all the guests. So apparently he's okay. So this Kevin Castley is being promoted more by this Danabo guy. Apparently he was on Danabo came on Kevin Castley's stream to talk about, the debate and everything else like that. But Danabo came on and was in the chat. But yeah. But I think that it's just kind of, yeah. Where do we go from here? I know I always say that, but you have to be timeless. You have to try to be able to speak for the time, but also try to speak for a vision in the future. As hard as that is. But also realize though that you can't escape some things. Is it me being born in the 1980s? I'm going to see things differently in terms of work ethic, in terms of whichever else, compared to somebody who was born in the 1930s or 50s or whichever, right? So you have to walk that fine line. And that's all we can really do, right? Is just to try to understand that and go from there. Anywho, I think that's all I have to say. My mouth is extremely dry. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me yapping on about Lord knows what. Allah knows what. But I think I'll keep it there. I don't think there's much else I have to say. I apologize for my high voice and everything else like that. Maybe I don't know. Speaking of being a product of your time, maybe I should take some testosterone or something like that and get a deeper voice, right? But yeah, I think that's about it, though. Just be aware that people like Vosh in particular are speaking for the time, and they will have to adapt and see how things go, and they will adapt to that time the best that they can, right? It's just like, it's like, yeah, you can post Pepe the Frog in 2021, but the thing is, though, that's a product of another time. It's no longer 2015. It's no longer 2016. No, you have to move on from that. Even though I do realize it's like posting the videos I did at the beginning, and I'll probably play it here again at the end, of, oh, the Taliban working out, and it's so funny, haha. That was a meme from like a month ago. But I was like, I need to find a way to put it in, so I did. So I think that's all I have to say. It's just, honestly, I'm just kind of ranting and raving at this point. But I think I'll end it here. So I'll go ahead and unplug my mic, and I'll go ahead and just let this play once again with The Beat Goes On. I'll go ahead and tell y'all right now. The song is The Whispers, The Beat Goes On. Find it on YouTube. You can find the extended plays. You can find the shorter version for like 4 minutes, or you can find like the 7.5-minute version. So yeah, this one's, I cut it down a little bit, so it's only about 2 minutes. So anywho, I think that's all I got to say. See you later. Goodbye. Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at these last two. Yep. Troll Face is popular recently. Oh yeah, exactly. We Waste was produced by Islamic intellects. That is true. That is true. You go sleep? Pretty soon. Pretty soon I'm going to go to sleep. Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and find the video that I made, and we'll go ahead and tell me what y'all think about this, though. So anyway, see y'all later. Goodbye.
Just like fishing in the ocean,